Well, I am back in the mountains of Colorado, and this time I'm feeling great. I'm in the scenic and charming small town of Ouray in southwest Colorado. Tucked into a narrow valley with mountains towering overhead, the well-preserved historic structures house boutiques and restaurants that definitely cater to a clientele that is wealthier than me. I'm here for the first ever Alldogs Offroad Group Adventure. Alldogs has teamed up with Rogue Overland to run this event. With nearly 30 vehicles in attendance, this is going to be a little different from the solo excursions you usually see me taking. A couple of years ago, I tried to explore the Colorado mountains, but had to drop those plans after a run-in with altitude sickness. I live in Oregon at close to sea level, so I'm a little nervous about spending the coming days at 10 to 13,000 feet. This time, I've tried to acclimate by taking extra days to work my way up to higher and higher elevations in nearby Utah. We'll see if it was enough. I did bring along a couple of oxygen canisters, just in case. While this is a Nissan-heavy crew, the group includes a wide range of vehicles. At the meetup point in Ouray, we're airing down, making new acquaintances, and greeting old friends. After a few miles along the stunning $1 Million Highway, we'll be getting off pavement for our first trail. Over the next 4 days, we'll wind up and down through Colorado's San Juan Mountains, cresting multiple passes that soar above the tree line, taking in stunning vistas from narrow shelf roads carved into the steep mountainsides. Along the way, we'll pause to explore a few of the countless historic abandoned mining sites dotted throughout the area. A group of this size is not an easy thing to manage, especially on tight trails like these that are popular and regularly driven by UTVs, motorcycles, and 4x4s. Despite being out here in the middle of the week, running into some traffic was inevitable, and the guys from Rogue Overland are proactive about both keeping our group moving and getting other drivers around us. Nearly everyone we've encountered has been chill and good-natured, everybody working together to safely get past each other. Understandably, it is necessary to keep the convoy on the move at all times, taking breaks only when we can get all the rigs entirely off the trail. That means it's impossible for me to set up shots the way I normally do when I'm by myself, or launch my drone while we're rolling. And because all the trails we're doing this week are well known and very well documented on YouTube, I'm not even going to try to specifically document each trail. I really can't do that effectively just from the driver's seat. Trying to shoot with a real camera while driving yields shaky, unusable footage and ultimately isn't very safe up here, so holding my action cam out the window like this will have to suffice. Over the course of the week, we will be driving an assortment of trails situated between Ouray, Silverton, and Lake City. We'll be traversing Corkscrew Pass, Hurricane Pass, Engineer Pass, and Cinnamon Pass, along with some assorted other trails in the area. Our excursions are fanning out from a base camp near Silverton. We're sleeping at an elevation of around 10,000 feet and heading up to between 12 and 13,000 feet each day. I've been making a diligent effort to stay very well hydrated, which is supposed to help the blood carry oxygen at high altitude. The scenery out here does not disappoint, but I have to admit that as someone who almost always rolls solo, it feels odd for me to travel with so many other vehicles. As much as I'm enjoying the incredible vistas continuously unfurling before us, it pains me a little to not be able to stop and get the types of shots I normally would bring you. That said, there is definitely something relaxing about not worrying about whether or not a route I planned will work, and knowing that if anything goes wrong, I'm surrounded by people who can assist. The competence and professionalism of the Rogue Overland crew is impressive. They've put together an enjoyable experience. I appreciate the punctual, well-organized departures from camp each morning, along with the ample opportunities to pause and explore interesting sights along the way. And for the record, this video is not sponsored in any way. I paid to attend this event just like everyone else. We stopped here for a quick break, and I was just running around getting some shots, and I looked and see that we're at 11,000 feet. I can feel that I shouldn't run around too much, but I feel pretty darn good. I am really glad I took the time to do the acclimating. 11,000 feet is where I ran into trouble with altitude sickness last time. We'll still be getting to even higher elevations this week, but it's already looking promising. I would see remnants of past mining activity, but I am stunned by the sheer number of abandoned structures and cabins dotting the landscape. From what I've read, mining was most active in this area from the 1880s through the early 1900s after the discovery of both gold and silver. Dwindling ore reserves, lower demand, and growing environmental concerns ultimately brought an end to this once bustling industry. In addition to the countless abandoned structures, old mine shafts can frequently be spotted carved into the hillsides. With many of the deserted towns and decaying mining infrastructure remaining on what is now public land, there are seemingly endless opportunities to walk in the footsteps of those who braved these rugged mountains chasing their fortunes.
Alldogs.com. I like it.
.12.7 as we come over this pass. So far so good at these higher elevations, at least as long as I'm just sitting in the truck driving. The weather has not been entirely cooperative, both up in the mountains and back down at camp, where we've had some stormy evenings. The trails are pretty wet even when it's not raining. On the plus side, none of us has to eat the dust of a 25 rig convoy. Fortunately, these roadbeds have plenty of rock, and I haven't seen any of the slimy, slippery soil I experienced when the rain hit in Utah the other day. While we're doing a fair amount of driving through forests and along the tops of ridgelines, most of these routes include stretches of vertiginous shelf roads carved into the sides of mountains and cliffs. Here, this is the final day and final trail of the event. I've left my truck at camp and I'm jumping from vehicle to vehicle as a passenger so I can try to get some better trail shots rather than just sticking my arm out the window. This has brought me to probably the most puckering moment of the week for me. Poorly filmed, but hopefully you get the idea.
You guys are good there.
Bear and cougar are known to roam the mountains of Colorado, but so far, my wildlife encounters have been considerably cuter. This is the first time I've ever seen the yellow-bellied marmot in real life. Turns out it's actually a variety of ground squirrel, just a very big and undeniably adorable ground squirrel. I'm even more excited to get a look at this moose, which is another creature I've never seen before in the wild. There's a second one also relaxing nearby. Moose are massive and can kill you if provoked, but not to worry, I am viewing at a safe distance from inside my truck with a nice powerful zoom. I would have loved to see these guys standing up, but I'm still thrilled just to finally get a look at them in person. All of the trails this week are considered easy by Colorado standards. Ultimately, I've had no trouble climbing any of the rock steps we've encountered, but man, there is just nothing like this in Oregon. While my primary motivation here is to see the stunning scenery, I have to admit it's pretty fun finding your way up these obstacles of exposed rock.
Straight up. Let's go. Let's go.
Precious cargo.
The most challenging spots usually seem to involve some slope, a corner, and some chunky exposed bedrock. And even though these are easy trails, picking the right line is still crucial in actually getting past the handful of obstacles we're encountering.
Passenger. Beautiful. Yep, you got it. You got it. Good job. Good job, man.
It's not surprising to see a lot of Nissan rigs at an Alldogs Offroad event, but overall, there's truly a nice variety of brands represented here, and anything from large full-size trucks down to very, very small SUVs, and drivers of all ages.
Going, Eric.
Great. Excellent. Passenger, back up. Yeah, just follow it around.
So we are taking a break here. We're close to the top of Engineer Pass, almost to 13,000 feet. The scenery up here is just absolutely stunning. The sun is out for us today. Got some fluffy clouds, some blue sky. Really having a nice drive today, and I'm happy to report that I'm almost 13,000 feet and I feel okay. I'm walking around. Definitely feel a little short of breath if I put in too much effort, but haven't had to touch any oxygen or anything like that. Really glad I did the acclimating. This is just spectacular beyond what I even imagined it would be.
Off-road challenges, historic sites, wildlife, and fun times with friends. It's already an unforgettable adventure. But truly, The crowning jewel here is simply the spectacular scenery unleashed before us. These majestic mountains and valley vistas, unlike anything I've experienced anywhere. Until you contemplate these epic panoramas with your own eyes, it's impossible to comprehend the scale and grandeur of these Colorado mountains. Was it worth 2 days of driving to get here from Oregon? Was it worth the expense of tank upon tank of gasoline? Was it worth the extra days spent acclimating to the elevation? Absolutely yes, on all counts. It's rare that I boil 4 days of adventure down into one episode, but this has been a singular experience that transcends basic chronological vlogging. And I hope I've managed to convey even a fraction of the glory and wonder I felt this week. Special thanks to Alldogs Offroad and Rogue Overland for putting together a truly memorable adventure. For me, it is now time to air up and head home.
That is so cool.